I grew up in Traverse City, and Traverse City, when I graduated from there, the reason I chose Central is I really wanted to play football here. That was one of the reasons that I came here. So I quickly learned after the first season that it's really challenging to balance out that time, the athletic side as well as the academic side. But being in Traverse City, people who work in Traverse City or live there, you're either going to go into hotel or restaurant. So I actually went into the HSA degree back then, and that was what I wanted to do. And then along the way, I had a marketing minor, right? And I had this professor, Dr. Cook, in this marketing minor. And I was just about ready to graduate, and I had this one class on logistics. And I'm like, I don't really know a lot about logistics. So I get into this class, and about the second week, I'm starting to think, this is really exciting. You know, Dr. Cook was passionate. He knew about the topic. He had a way of motivating students to logistics. And at the time, logistics was really not well known. And I really loved the class. So I said, you know what? I'm going to change my major. So I continued my major in HSA and got a double major in marketing and logistics. At the time, logistics wasn't even a major; it was just an emphasis. So I uprooted my career in hotel restaurant and decided, okay, this is really what I want to do. I went to notify the owner of La Senorita at the time. I'm like, okay, I'm no longer going to be working in restaurants, and more specifically yours. And at the time, he didn't really know what logistics was. And he said, at the end of the conversation, he said, okay, so you're going to be driving trucks. So,
what are your hobbies outside of teaching? Do you have any secret talents?
Secret talents.
Secret talents. Yeah.
No, I'm an outdoors junkie. So I do everything outdoors. So in the summertime, you'll see me. I live in Ann Arbor, so I spend a lot of time biking. So I'm doing a lot of road biking. And this winter, I'm experimenting with mountain biking in the snow. So that's a lot of fun. Years past, I've done a lot of triathlon competitions. So I try and dabble with all of those elements of biking and running. But beyond that, my fall is spent fishing, hunting, anything outdoors. So that's kind of where I spend my time. I've got 2 children, and I've spent a number of years, the last 5 or 6 years, coaching them. So that's another one of my passions.
What previous work experience do you have?
So I've been in in my work field for 25 years. So I've been in logistics. Most of that has been with Ryder, but in addition to that, I came out of school here and worked for Dayton Hudson, and that's now Macy's, and I had some time with Technicolor, which supported Walt Disney Corporation, but the majority of it has been with Ryder, which is a third-party logistics company. It's been a good ride. I really enjoyed that, and that's one area that really helps me in the classroom. And almost every topic, I can relate it to some sort of story.
What do you do in your class that gets students engaged in learning?
Yeah, that's a good question. So we've got our learning objectives, but I always feel that those learning objectives are better suited if I'm able to triangulate those learning objectives with experiences and stories, and then active learning. I have a flipped class environment, so I put podcasts and reading out for the students. They're to come into the classroom, be prepared, and then we build on that with current events and with stories that I might have, and then we do some activities. So it's all foundational.
Have you started your own business, and if not, what business would you like to get started?
Boy, I haven't been involved in my own business. I've done some consulting. But if I were to get my own business, I would probably open up a small coffee shop, something along those lines. I can't foresee myself as being a real effective barista, but I think I could, as long as I didn't drink the profits, I think I could do pretty well there. So I would enjoy doing that someday, maybe opening up a small cafe.
How do you see business changing in the future?
Business is changing before our eyes right now, and what I see most as far as business changes, first of all, the rate or the pace that business is changing today. And I emphasize this in the classroom, that businesses today are moving so fast, it requires students to have skills that enable them to be flexible, because what was important for businesses even 2 and 3 years ago is not important today. And so where I see businesses changing today is the obvious globalization. The globalization, especially from somebody who has a supply chain eye, and we focus on the supply chain, globalization has just increased the challenges that we have in the field. It's made the supply chains much more complex. It's created challenges for retailers today who are trying to deal with e-tailing and e-commerce and the challenges that Amazon's brought on. So it's the globalization, and secondly, just the challenges of moving towards more of a information society today. My message to the students is don't ever cut off a path because it's difficult or you think that there's risk involved with it. I always encourage them, go down those roads. This whole college experience, it's a journey, right? And at the end of it, you want to know that you took every opportunity to try new things and to experience new things. And as you come out of this, you hopefully have a better idea of what opportunities are out there.